Good morning, welcome. Again, I am Bonnie Shetler, Chairman, President of the Board of the Foundation on Aging. And I want to welcome you to our first summit on aging in Larimer County. And I want to thank you for your willingness to spend a day with us to explore how we might together shape the future of Larimer County. But first I want to thank our generous sponsors whose commitment not only helped to underwrite today's events, but will help us to do what we need to do this coming year to follow up on the ideas that we gather today. And I also want to thank the volunteers, the team facilitators who will be helping with the breakout session, St. Elizabeth Ann Seton for the use of this beautiful facility, and the members of their Forever Young ministry who volunteered their time today to help us with housekeeping and logistics. Thank you all. The Foundation on Aging and the Office on Aging, which is actually our kind of silent partner in this effort, are delighted to host such a diverse group in the interest of identifying our common shared concerns and initiating a process for developing local community-based strategies that sustain and promote healthy aging. As you may know, the outside resources, government funding, national private grants, that we have historically depended on to help us with our local needs are drying up fast. And in the short run, that's caused a lot of hardships as agencies try to continue to provide services at an effective level with fewer resources. But in the long run, if it helps us or forces us as a community to take a harder look at what our needs are, understand what those needs are, and identify our considerable resources and organize them in an effective way to solve our own problems, it may not be such a bad thing in the long run, especially in this community where we have lots of resources. We just need to do a better job of organizing them effectively. I want to take a minute just to tell you about the Foundation on Aging. I think a number of you probably have no idea even who we are. Back in the mid-'80s, a woman named Mildred Arnold, who was an outspoken advocate for seniors and women, died and left some money with the instructions that it be used to identify and address the needs of seniors in Larimer County. And the foundation was organized as a nonprofit organization in 1986, essentially to administer those funds. And our mission was and still is her mission to understand and address the needs of seniors in Larimer County, especially the isolated, the frail, and the low income, the ones we don't typically see in our day-to-day activities out on the street. We've carried that mission out by working in collaboration primarily with the Larimer County Office on Aging, which is really the primary funder of senior services in this county, and the Service Provider Network, primarily the nonprofit network. And we've done that by, with those folks, providing educational events to try and address senior issues to the community, by funding individuals who have emergency needs, broken glasses, prescriptions, a roof that needs to be fixed, and providing funds on an immediate emergency basis to address those needs, and to provide and develop funds for the providers themselves so they can do their jobs more effectively. But we have pretty much worked within the confines of those interlocking circles up till now. More recently, we have, as a board, accepted the responsibility to provide some leadership and coordination to plow new ground and to try and explore other ways to make this a community where seniors can stay connected and remain healthy and independent as long as possible. We really believe that the more effectively we support the idea of aging well in Larimer County, for whatever that means for us in Larimer County, the fewer will be the unmet needs that we have to address in the future. So partly we want to try and solve the problem by keeping the problem from happening, or at least getting bigger. And to kind of make my point, I'm going to give you another visual. When we talk about the problem getting bigger, I want to give you another visual so that you can get the gist of what I'm saying. Excuse me a second. I was born in 1946, the year after the guys came home from World War II. And there are, consequently, a lot of me. I'm going to be 64 this year. And there are a ton of me who are going to be 64 this year. And there is an army of me right behind. And I don't use the term army loosely. I use it to refer not only to the numbers and the strength, but if you'll recall, those of us who were born in 1946, and probably about 6 rows behind me, came into adulthood in the 60s. When we are displeased, we do not go quiet. So this is a formidable group moving into, aging into Larimer County. And I want you to kind of keep that visual, thousands of me and the ones behind me. And then I want you to look at that circle around the community in which we've been operating. And imagine that circle to contain the seniors in Larimer County whose resources, whether they're social or physical or economic, have been depleted to the point where they can no longer sustain themselves without outside help. Army needs. If we don't do something now to keep even a small percentage of this boomer army from falling into that circle, and if we've learned nothing in this last year, we've learned how easy that is to do, no matter how well we think we've planned not to. We are going to be overwhelmed with the economic and social cost of trying to support those folks. And if you'll forgive the hyperbole, that circle is going to explode. And we, as funders and nonprofit providers, understand that we can no longer operate in isolation and hope to be successful. We need to enlist all sectors of the community in our search for solutions. And so today we're expanding the boundaries of our usual conversation by including stakeholders from all 4 corners of the county, not only in terms of geography, but in terms of philosophy, professional status, areas of interest. We all need to come together and have this conversation. And instead of trying to address the universe of concerns that affect seniors in this county, we have chosen today 4 key issues to highlight in this summit: health, housing, transportation, and support services. This morning, we're going to share with you what we know about how these issues impact our county. And thanks to a major sponsorship from Banner McKee Medical Health Foundation, we were able to bring some experts who can speak to us from a national and statewide perspective